The following video is brought to you by Sports Radio New York.
Right now, we are proud to be joined by the hockey maven himself, Stan Fischler. Stan, how are you tonight?
Very good. How are you?
Great, thank you, and thanks for being here. Please do tell us about the new book, Who's Better, Rangers, Devils, Islanders, or Flyers? How did you get the inspiration to put this book together?
Actually, it came from Chico Resch. Chico and I were talking a couple of years ago, and he said this would be a good idea. We picked things like best defenseman on championship teams. We got Scott Stevens, Brian Leach, something like that. Best captains. Captain was Stevens, Messier, and Potvin, and Bobby Clark. And we do a whole bunch of things like that. We make a case for each one. We pick a winner, and that's how it came about.
And now, these are the kind of things that hockey fans in the New York area argue about for a long time, and certainly brings up a lot of controversy.
Well, there's always going to be controversy because everybody likes his own favorite team. What we do is we bring in an unbiased critic, and he reviews everything. Case made for each guy, and he picks a winner.
And
if the reader doesn't agree, there will be a website created when the book comes out. The book's about a month away from being published. When the book comes out, they can write into the website and state their reasons, pro or con.
Now, who were some of the impartial people who you brought in to try to determine these winners?
There's only one guy. He's a former reporter for Associated Press. He works for Bloomberg. His name is Alan Kreda, Kreda, and he doesn't have a stake of one way or the other, and I decided that he would be willing and a good man to do it, and he said he would, and that's why I picked him.
And do you know which team he roots for, or is that something you're not?
Doesn't root. He's impartial.
Okay, just checking. Were there any categories that you yourself disagreed with his determinations?
Well, there were, but I'm not going to. I wasn't going to make an issue of it because we brought him in to make a decision.
Right.
We even go into some esoteric ideas like best anthem singer. I mean, that's a pretty offbeat thing. We have one on best hostess at an arena. And, of course, we compare things like goalie in a championship playoff, things like that.
And what years were these, what was the scope of as far as years go for the championship teams?
From 1974 to the present.
Okay. So the 1940 Rangers are not a part of this?
No.
Okay. And what for you was sort of the cleverest topic that you came up with to discuss? Well,
it depends on how you view clever. I mean, we wanted to get all of the most important ones. We wanted to get things like best fighter. But when it got into, fun things, we had different things like best one-liners from a coach and things like that I thought were kind of fun to do.
Mm-hmm. And when and where is the book going to be available?
Well, it should be available in about a month. I don't want to make anything definitive because we have the manuscript already has been approved, and it should be being put together now. But I expect by a month from now it'll be in the bookstores.
It sounds like a lot of fun, Stan, and looking forward to reading a copy of the book. While we have you here, hoping just to discuss a couple of quick issues about the three local teams. New York Rangers off to a sparkling start, winning their last 7 games. But Ranger fans have seen fast starts like this before. Are the Rangers for real, and why is this team either different or not different than past years where the Rangers have gotten off to a fast start?
Well, first of all, they're for real because they have better players than they've had in the past. Gabrick, to me, is better than Iager. Lundqvist has been around now several years. He's better than he's ever been. And more than anything, they have a terrific coach. John Tortorella is a top coach, and he's got a discipline that the others never had. And that's why they're better.
I know he ran them through what was considered a very physical, tough training camp. Do you think that's paid off in the third period so far this season?
Paid off in the first and the second period, too. It's an across-the-board thing with him. He's made the team 10% better right across the board.
Turning to the New York Islanders right now, struggling 6 games, still yet to get their first win. What do the Islanders have to do to sort of try to salvage this season?
Have to get some guys who can score goals. They can't depend on Tavares. And I don't know that the goaltending is up to par. I thought it would be better than this. And I'm not so sure about the coach being up to par. Remember an early game when they had a shootout, and I guess it may have been the first game or the second game, I forget. And he picked, he had veterans who, to use, and he used a couple of the kids, and it just didn't make sense to me. I question the coaching.
Do you think that if this season turns out to be as difficult as the last one, that Scott Gordon's job may be in jeopardy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not the GM, but if they don't make the playoffs and they don't play competitive hockey, then Gordon has to be on the hot seat.
What is your take on the Lighthouse Project? Is this going to get done? Is the team going to stay here on Long Island?
It will get done. The team will stay on the island, but it'll be a compromise deal, and it'll be scaled down.
Turning our attention to the Devils, Martin Brodeur with the shutout on Saturday, now 1 away from the all-time record. When do you think Marty Brodeur will get to
The
be
preceding
all-time
video
shutout?
was a production of Sports Radio New York. To view this interview in its entirety and to access all Sports Radio New York content, just visit sportsradiony.com.